everybody, this is Pranlier, also known as Lateriser 12, and welcome to my Gameweek 16 team selection video. For those of you that haven't already seen it, we already did our podcast on Wednesday night where we discussed how to best make use of the 5 free transfers that we have, and we went into team details and a lot of future planning. On this video, I'll be covering Munoz replacements because we now know that he's undergoing surgery and could be out for 4 to 6 weeks. That's what Glasner said. I'll be covering some free hit options for you guys as well and a little bit of future planning in terms of what we should look at, and then I'll tell you guys what moves I made with regards to my team and what I'm thinking about in the future. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it and revisit the problem, the big fail that was game weeks 15. I got 44 points. Not much happened. I didn't have Foden. I didn't have Bruno. These are the two that did really, really well. Haaland captaincy failed. It feels kind of not nice because I saw it with Foden, but I just overcommitted to United midfielders, which is why I couldn't move to Foden. And same with Bruno. With the Bruno thing, it was so funny, right? I saw the first 10 minutes of the game and the amount of space Wolves afforded United. I was like, this is a cash-in game for Cunha and Boomo because they are going to make the runs in behind. Cunha had 8 shots and had 0 goals, 1 assist to show for it. Unfortunately, Boomo just got 1 goal. There were so many instances where Boomo and Cunha sort of passed to each other, but there were so many instances in which Bruno was involved as well. Everything good that United did, Bruno Fernandes was involved in. So we at least take solace in the fact that at the very least, Cunha and Boomo combined came close to Bruno Fernandes. O'Reilly with a 6-pointer. That goal is coming. Unfortunately, he got it in the Champions League. He's a 15-pointer any game. I keep saying that. Richards with a 4-pointer. That decision to start Richards and bench Anderson worked out. Timber 3 points. Verbruggen 3-point again. That low percentage shot from Bowen went in. He was in for a 10-pointer before that. Saka didn't do much. Mateta and Voltemade. I mean, I had Cunha and Boomo for Everton at home, West Ham at home. Didn't do anything. I had Voltemade for Spurs at home, Burnley at home. Didn't do anything. But the beautiful thing about luck is it has to turn at the right time, and it will. So we stay positive, we stay optimistic. I had Dewsbury Hall on the bench as well. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, but it is what it is. Let's move on. Let's look forward. Before we do that, a quick shout out to Club. I've been playing this game, which is a nice distraction from FPL and my calls in FPL, where essentially it's a little bit of FIFA Ultimate Team meets FPL, where you are talking to certain agents, you're talking to Manny, who keeps pitching players to you. You have to manage budgets in a club, and then you either sign these players or reject these players. You get certain players on loans, and then you get points in a league basis their performance on the pitch. There's FPL kind of scoring as well as a little bit more detailed scoring in terms of additional points for a lot of other things as well. So I really recommend it. Completely free to play. Nice little distraction. The user interface is lovely. So I highly recommend you guys check this out. Scan this QR code or click in the link in the description below. Download Club and get playing. It's fully free to play. All right. So looking forward, I want to first talk about Munoz replacements because he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. That means he's going to be out until Jan at least, and he's going to miss a host of games, right? So who do we go for? If you don't have an Arsenal defender, I think an Arsenal defender is definitely in play, especially since we're expecting Saliba to come in. Timber would be up there in terms of potential replacements that I would look for. They're sitting still, despite losing Saliba and Gabriel. In the last 6 game weeks, they're sitting top. They have the best XG conceded in the league. So I think they're a really, really good option. That said, Arteta did mention that he lost 2 players in the morning. One of them is Timber. But he was there in the training pictures throughout. So I'm hoping he's going to be fine. But we know what Arteta's going to do. He's going to do Arteta things. So unless he tells you that Timber's fit, I don't know if you can really go there. Incapi is a good option as well. But it's a little bit short term because Gabriel could be back in Jan. It's a transfer out in 4 to 5 weeks. But you don't mind that if you're getting Wolves, Everton, Brighton, Villa, Bournemouth. You're seeing maybe 3 cleans, 2 cleans in those games as well, right? So worth a pop. If you don't have Nico O'Reilly, he's my favorite option for you. Got the goal in the Champions League. Pep Guardiola speaks about how he's amazing. He's doing well. He even compared it to Bernardo Silva last week and said that Bernardo Silva is an oldie. Nico O'Reilly is young. He can play every 3 days, no problem. His regeneration is good. And they are 2 points behind Arsenal in the title race. They're chasing. I know he's going off to AFCON. I don't think you need to worry about him too much. And it's good for a goal or an assist any game. Saw he got the goal on the corner. Guardiola gave it to him, and he sees Park next to Haaland for 25 minutes in a game, and it's just so many routes to points and decent clean sheet potential as well. City are in the top half of the table for XGC in the last few. Yes, they conceded that many goals to Fulham, but I don't think they'll be that bad defensively going into the future. I think Pep Guardiola's team will learn from that. They've got some decent fixtures incoming as well. Got Palace away, which is a tough fixture, but Palace are half broken right now. Then they got West Ham, Forest, Sunderland, Chelsea, Brighton, United, Wolves. Really nice run of fixtures until game week 23. If you don't have Nico Rally, he's the best option to get, in my opinion. I have been talking about how I feel good about avoiding the Van Dijk trap so far, but now I think Van Dijk is a good pick because Liverpool have shown some improvement in defense. They've got a great bunch of fixtures coming. They got Brighton at home, Wolves at home, Leeds at home, and Burnley at home before game week 22. That's just a good run of fixtures at home before game week 22. I see some clean sheet points. He's been very unlucky to not score as well. I think that goal is also coming. And they're sitting third for XGC. Third best defense in the league for XGC in the last 6 games. And I think what's happened with the Slot Salah drama is that Slot has gone to a defense first approach. And the team is going to galvanize itself, and there is going to be a us against the other sort of approach. And I think he's going to be pretty pragmatic, sort of like the Inter performance that we saw. They've not considered more than 0.5 XGC in a while in the last 4 or 5 games. I saw Josh's tweet as well. So is he an option? Definitely, in my opinion. Now, if you're somebody who wants to upgrade an attacking position, you want to buy a Bruno Fernandes or a Foden or punt on a Palmer or get a Saka, for example, and you want to go a little cheaper, then Anderson and Tarkowski are good options. They've got good fixtures. They are good for... See, they're sitting in the top of the table for XGC in the last 6. And generally, fairly reliable defense who are reliable in reliable games. That's how I put it when it comes to Everton and Fulham. It's just whoever fits your rotation, go for them. That's all. And I just threw in Brentford in here because they've got a really nice run of fixtures. In fact, until game week 23-24, they sit top of the fixture ticker. It's just, I don't rate their defense as highly as I rate Everton and Fulham's defense. That said, if you want to go for a Collins or a Van der Beek, they're also an option. So when it comes to the cheap guys, you need to go do a little bit of planning and see what fits your rotation more. But push comes to shove, which picks do I like the most? Nico Rally, Arsenal defender, Van Dijk. I would go for these. You can even go for Konate if you want to, because they don't have any other defenders fit and available that are there. And then amongst the cheap guys, who really has banker clean sheet fixes? I think I'd go for maybe Keane or Tarkowski because they just, while they have the similar DEFCON level to Anderson, they've got more goal threat about them. That's all. And then Anderson is useful 16, 17, 18. 19, 20, 21, it's tough fixtures for Anderson. So that's my thing. I would maybe go Keane or Tarkowski. If you want to have a long-term stable option, then maybe a Brentford defender is the play. Just a couple of things on the fixture ticker that I wanted to take note of. Arsenal won 3-0 and they rotated heavily in the Champions League, which means that they need to just get 1 point out of the next 2 rounds of the games in the Champions League, and the other teams need to win a lot. They're fairly secure in terms of Champions League qualification, right? So now Arsenal have Champions League ties in game week 22 and 23. They're playing Inter away. They don't necessarily need to field very strong teams between game week 22 and 24, which you see here in January. So they're not going to be as prone to rotation. They're going to focus on the league because they've qualified in the Champions League. So you don't need to worry too much about them. And I need to cite one more team, which is Crystal Palace, who are absolutely slaughtered. Their squad is really having a lot more injuries. That's at SAR is expected faster than expected. But they are playing midweek football every week for the longest time. Let me just show you how brutal it is for Crystal Palace. Where is Crystal Palace? Crystal Palace. Here. It's just, except for before game week 18 when they play Spurs at home, it's just a whole bunch of yellows and reds. For those that don't know, reds are 2 days rest period and yellows are 3-day rest period. It just doesn't look like a squad. I said, Glasner did mention that he's going to rotate a lot before Leeds United in the Champions League as well, because that's the league game and then they've got the Carabao Cup game. So there is this period between game week 16, 17, 18. There's going to be heavy rotation for Crystal Palace assets. Even as a Richards owner, I'm not convinced he plays all the games. Outside of that, Liverpool have a fairly decent schedule and they need to play for points. So I think their assets are not going to be prone to rotation. I am very, very interested in Hugo Ekitike. I spoke about him on the pod as well. I think he's a really good option. He looks very highly involved in everything good that Liverpool do. He's a good option. Isak is a decent option. I just think he's dealing with a ground problem, which is why he doesn't seem fully fit. Who are on my watch list from Liverpool? Ekitike, uh, this guy. What? Yes, he's a world class player and he'll find his footing. And I'm looking at the defenders as well. Sobasla is also on my watch list, but I want to see who plays in the 10 behind the two strikers if he persists with the diamond, because he played in the diamond in the Champions League as well. Arsenal, well, outside of Timber, Hincapi, and Saka, there's unfortunately no long term picks. Raya, there's no long term picks. But there is something in there for 1 week punts, which I'll talk about later. City, it's clear Foden, O'Reilly, and Haaland are the best 3 picks. Chelsea, Palmer has similar issues to Isak, where he's a good 1 peak punt, but we need to see him get up to full fitness, which is just quite not the case with them right now. So I just wanted to have a look at that schedule there and mention these picks to you guys. Before I move any further, just wanted to cite that we still have our amazing Christmas offer there for if you guys want to hang with us on Discord. It's £2 for the month, and then if you like us, you hang with us a little more. So take advantage of this 66% off deal. Join us on patreon.com/the FPL Wire and come hang with us. Now I'm just going to look at Ropty's data because I want to look at a few free hit picks and what I would do if I was looking at the free hit. First things first, I would decide which 3 Arsenal I would go for. And just because Eze, Saka were rested, I would go with 3 Arsenal, and I would not include Raya as my 3 Arsenal. So, because I just feel like the defenders have higher upside on set pieces as well as making attacking runs, and I feel like Raya's not going to make many saves either. So you could double attack, 1 defender. I think I would start with Eze and Saka as my punts. Just a good place to start on free hit. And then I would go either White or Timber or Hincapi based, or Lewis Kelly based on what we hear, because Calafiori is suspended as well. What else would I do on free hit? I think because there's a lack of other defensive options available, I would probably double up on the Chelsea defense or go for 1 Chelsea defender. Thinking Kukurea plus Sanchez. Sanchez has been good form for saving shots as well. And I would go for Liverpool attack. Ekitike would be there in my draft. Maybe if you want to punt on Isak on a free hit. This is all for free hit. These are all 1 week punts that I would consider. This is where I would start, and then you decide where you want to go in terms of your matchups, etc. as well. I would, because there are not many defensive options available and Crystal Palace are so slaughtered when it comes to the squad composition, I would maybe take a chance on Nico Rally as well, because I just don't think many other defenders offer the same attacking impetus that Nico Rally does. So I would maybe go with him on a free hit. And if you're looking for same thing, you would consider Matty Cash on free hit as well. And actually, one of my very good friends, Tommy Tour, he did a nice free hit draft, which I'm going to show you guys, which I quite liked. He went with Sanchez and Chalobah, double Chelsea defense. He went with Ben White and Nico O'Reilly. I like that. In attack, he went for Saka, Eze, Foden, and Bruno Fernandes. And Thiago, Haaland, and Ekitike. He went with the Crystal Palace assets because he thinks that Crystal Palace, because City are going to win that game and they're sensing a challenge for the league title. If I wasn't going for Crystal Palace as assets, where would I punt? I would go for Cole Palmer on my free hit. 100% I would go for Cole Palmer on my free hit. Bruno Fernandes should be there on your free hit. Maybe a Bumo as a matchup option against Bournemouth, because they will offer space in behind. So he's a decent option. Thiago and Dango Utara are good options. And then you can maybe see if you want to punt on Ollie Watkins or Rogers. Harry Wilson is a decent option as a free hit punt as well. He's been amongst the goals, 4 returns in the last 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. In form. That goal was stupendous, man. That goal that they scored against Palace, one of the best goals I've seen this season. So those are my thoughts on free hit. Definitely go 2 Liverpool attackers or 1 Liverpool attacker. Definitely go double up Arsenal defense. I would punt on Cole Palmer just because he's the player he is. Even though it's 70 minutes, he's got the upside. So those are my thoughts on free hit. And what moves did I make? I had Voltemade, I had Mateta, and I had Dewsbury Hall. I wish I sold Minte instead of Dewsbury Hall, but hopefully Minte does something against that Liverpool team. I did Voltemade, Mateta, and Dewsbury Hall to Foden, Thiago, and Guiu. I've got 1.7 million in the bank. My future targets that I'm looking at, maybe an Arsenal defender. I'm looking at Liverpool attackers as future targets. I'm looking at Bruno Fernandes as future targets. I'm looking at Cole Palmer as future targets. Outside of that, I don't have much left. Going to sit and wait and watch and see what happens. In case Timber's injured, I might sell him for a Califury. I might sell him for a Hincapi, maybe. But I don't expect that to happen. I don't expect Arteta to give us clear news. Uh, as always, all the data that you see on this channel is from the Fantasy Football Scout members area. So make sure you're scanning this QR code to become a member or click on the link in the description below. I've kept this brief, I've kept this concise. I hope this was useful for you guys. Good luck this week, and especially to the free hit punters. Remember, double Arsenal attack. Don't go Raya, Liverpool attacker or two, and punt on Cole Palmer. That's it from me, guys. Take care, and I will see you not next week. I'm going to be traveling next week. I'll see you the week after. Take care, guys.